Well, we just watched Gotham, episode 12, What the Little Bird Told Him. So what did the little bird tell us? Well, you know those couples who will invite people over and bake cupcakes, either with blue or pink in the middle, to tell the gender of their unborn child? Well, apparently Edward Nygma does the same thing, but he's going to tell you what caliber of bullet you're going to be using. That's kind of he's a quirky guy. What else did we learn? Oh, the electrocutioner. What does he have in common with gremlins? You don't want to get them wet. For different reasons, though. And lastly, Liza is making a very special dinner. Guys! But she didn't say what. We didn't find out. Or we have to wait till next week?
She's dead, so.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't see the last part of the episode.
Well, she's dead.
She's dead.
Yep.
I guess we may never know. But fear not, we're going to find out on this episode of the Gotham After Show. Anyway, welcome to the Gotham After Show. The show that films about 24 hours after Gotham airs, which gives you plenty of time to get in on the conversation. I am Chad Perkins, and welcome. First off, I just want to do some shout-outs here before we introduce the Red Couch of Blood, because there was a lot of revenge in this episode. So blood, the streets will run red with the blood of. Never mind. Yeah, so before I introduce everybody, I just want to say to check out our friends at Legends of Gotham, who brought us on their podcast along with the Flash podcast to talk about the show. You can search it on YouTube. It's their roundtable number 2. And also tell you, coming up actually tomorrow, which is today probably, depending on when you're watching this, it might be yesterday or several days prior. But anyway, coming up soon for us here presently, we will also be on our friends at Sleepy Addicts, Sleepy Hollow Addicts. So, again, we had a Flash person coming on a Gotham show. We're going on a Sleepy Hollow show to talk Gotham. What's that mean? Everything is Gotham. All right. Please welcome on the Red Couch of Blood from the In the Comics podcast. He is at dcottingham21 on Twitter. He is David Cottingham. There he is.
Thanks. Wow. It's good to see you, man.
Who cares?
All right. From the Star Wars TCG podcast, he is at Master Koo. Please welcome Cory Cooley. There he is.
It's a rough takeoff you had there.
Whoa.
Rough.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of...
It's a rough takeoff.
Yeah.
Good landing, though.
Yeah, good land, yeah.
Coasting in.
Yeah.
And friend of the show, and joining us for the second time, he is at Big Blue 8 on Twitter. Please welcome back to the show, Charles Thompson. Charles.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Welcome, welcome.
With this dais.
Yes. And before we get into our quick reactions about this episode, which is what the little bird told him, we're going to tell you, we've been talking about this, our giveaway for Hush, one more week. On the next show, we are announcing the winner. So to get entered in this, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can retweet the link that we will tweet out to this episode that you're watching right here. Favoriting is good, and it's fine, and we love it, but we really want it to be retweeted so we can get it out to other people. Or you can rate the Gotham After Show podcast on iTunes and leave a comment or anything like that. That'll get you entered as well for this. Is it this actual physical copy?
That is the physical copy you're holding right now.
Just wants more now.
Yeah.
Okay,
maybe I'll get a different one.
The new books.
Yeah, we'll get you a new one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's got that new Chad smell.
Yeah. What the little bird, I want to say birdie every time, but what the little bird told him. Awesome. But I don't want to be biased. First reactions.
No, my first reaction was I think this is my favorite episode. I think it's arguably, I think, one of the best episodes that they've had. The electrocutioner part was good, but the Penguin, Falcone, Mooney stuff, it took it to another level. I thought that was fantastic.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Charles Thompson.
I was blown away by it. I mean, I was texting both of you guys. I mean, last night. I was really surprised at how fluid everything was, because it appears that they've built steam now. That they had the break, and it kind of reset things. Jim's out of Arkham and everything, and now things are really progressing because to be able to survive a firing by the mayor and now to be back, that tells everybody in the precinct that, oh, we don't want to screw with him. And this is the evolution of his character to where he's the leader now of that precinct, not just one of the guys.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. I love
Totally.
it.
Corey Cooley.
I agree a lot with Dave. The executioner stuff was good, but it really popped off when Penguin finally got to Falcone and told him what Liza and stuff was up to, and then after that it was great. I wouldn't say it was my favorite episode, but I don't. It's hard to say one favorite episode because there are bits and pieces of each show that I really like. Like I would say, my favorite ending may have been when Butch popped what's his face by the pier. I thought that was really cool how they did that last episode and ended it, and it was like there was nothing after that. I thought that was really neat. So, favorite episode may not be that, but it's top 3 if I had to throw it out there.
Let's just jump right into the Liza, Penguin, Falcone stuff, and kind of talk about what happened more at the end of the episode. Let me pose this question to you guys. Do you think Liza should have told Fish that Oswald knew? Do you think this could have saved her? I mean, Fish may have been more prepared, wouldn't have gone after him she obviously would have pulled Liza out or reworked her plan. Do you think Liza could have saved herself just by saying, hey, by the way, your old boy Penguin, he knows.
He may or may not know.
Dave Cottingham.
I don't think. I think it would have just sped up the process of what happened. I mean, she may have been able to survive, but either way, if she would have told Fish, I think eventually it would have gotten back to Falcone anyway. So I think she was doomed from the start. But the bottom line is we all kind of agreed that something else happened with Falcone. So Falcone didn't know. We all kind of suspected. I suspected Falcone figured it out already. Or she told him, we kind of speculated maybe she likes him enough to tell him, but man,
not the case.
No, he's straight up murdered.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would have mattered, to be honest.
I think we can see a lot of symbolism in the fact that Fish found a girl in Liza who looked so much like Falcone's mom, which we saw in that brief flashback.
I think it was her.
It was.
Yeah,
her.
well, it's obviously the same
actress.
actress.
I was like, what?
But she looked a lot like her.
Yeah.
And apparently we've heard so much that Fish and Falcone used to talk about his mother, so he obviously has some mommy issues. Then he chokes this woman who he obviously loves and reminds him so much of his mother. Symbolism galore here. Talk on that, Charles.
Well, before I talk about that, I wanted to mention something too, though. I think this was.
And this is my show.
I just wanted to bounce off what he was saying though with Penguin is that I find it fascinating that the way that they're writing the show with him is that they're making it so that everyone's taking him for granted. The college kids near the beginning of the season, they didn't think he could do something to him, or it just keeps building. And then now Liza probably was like, well, he's broken. There's no way he can't stop me. Fish will save me. Everything's fine. And he keeps progressing. And everyone, even Falcone, took him for granted. And then until last night, Falcone now is a believer. So it's interesting how he's building each episode. He's a little stronger every time.
Yeah.
But
let me hit the pause button. We're going to come back to the thing I asked you before, and we're just going to move on. Corey, talk about it's very thought-flowing here now, and I like it. Let's go with it. Let's just run with it. Don't be scared. Talk about how Liza, she's gone now. Unless we get flashbacks with her, I feel like we never truly knew her intentions or how she felt about Falcone or how she felt about Fish. When she got nabbed and then the hood came off and she was at Fish's, she almost didn't even seem that relieved. Like, I would rather be back.
Yeah.
Talk about that. What do you think?
I think it's a little interesting how seem like they've set a lot of stuff up to really not have any sort of ending. Like when she spilt that sleeping stuff. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we kind of were like,
That's the scene we always thought we would get in a flashback.
yeah, we would get something. And I mean, so I don't know. I mean, there was a hint that she liked him, but I guess I don't know. I mean, Liza. I mean, she was always a pretty face, and you felt like she was always going to be something more. But I was very surprised to see him choke her to death. So yeah, I can't even really, to be honest with you, remember the what was exactly the question?
What do you think her true motivations were? Where do you think her allegiance really lied in the end?
And well, clearly in the end, I mean, she clearly lied with Fish. I mean,
so you think she was with Fish?
I think she was with Fish, but she was conflicted, clearly conflicted. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But from what Charles said, I mean, she. Well, I am completely losing my train of thought here.
That's fine. Charles Thompson, 2 questions ago.
Am I drunk?
Well, like he's saying,
We all are.
Like he's saying though, you look at her. She's thinking to herself, "Okay, I'm with Fish. Fish has got this set up to where I get to go back to Falcone. Why be worried? Because we're going to go off and live in the country. He's going to have all of his money, is to do some kind of buyout or whatever the deal is for signing over the Don ship, and she was set. So there wasn't anything to fear. And I think up until the point where he goes, "I know what you've done to me," that's when everything got really, really, really quick. And
Yeah.
that was just an interesting moment because you saw the true colors of what he is. I mean, he's much more scary than Maroney.
Right.
Because Maroney's more the fun-loving, he'll kill you maybe,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Call you a mook.
Oh, Mook.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm actually going to take it to Dave. You talk about that strangling moment. Symbolism, the mother. What do you
Yeah, I think there could be more there with the mother, because it is a little disturbing that he would choke someone that reminds him of his mother. So either something maybe bad happened with his mother.
Did he kill his
Did
mom?
he kill his mom? I mean, because I would think in that moment, you know, again, I was very surprised by how that unfolded, because I completely anticipated the way the show has gone that he would leave the city and he would go with her. I figured the Liza storyline would keep going a little longer. Fish would take over in a sense, and then maybe Penguin would get it from her. So the fact that it got turned around like that, it was a little surprising that he would just, you know, because she was, I mean, obviously she was just a pawn. I mean, Fish is the one that really, you know, degraded his mother and used his mother
against him? Yeah.
and obviously from the previews, you know, she's going to pay for it a little bit, it looks like, but you would think that
Just a little bit.
yeah, but you would think he would walk up to Fish and strangle the hell out of her.
Right. I think he's got, other plans. He doesn't want to make it that quick.
Right.
I think he wants to draw it out. Does anyone see Falcone killing Liza as kind of a symbolic thing of, because he said that it was a wake-up call. You think this is like the last shred of his whatever he was hanging on to? Hey, let me buy you a bakery or a flower shop or something like that. Let me go feed pigeons or chickens. You think that was him symbolically saying, okay, I'm done with that. I'm back to
I definitely think
being
so,
Mr.
yeah.
He
Badass.
clearly was bored. I mean, he seemed to be kind of complacent in what he was doing, and kind of lost sight of why he was where he was, and by strangling her. But this whole thing, I think, kind of shocked him into like, ooh, this is exciting. Like it was nothing was been going on for so long. Everything's been running smoothly, and it's not really fun when you're just sitting back and letting things run themselves. So
This was a shocking episode.
Well,
yeah,
and to
I
that
think it
point,
shocked him into action.
you know, the stranglings, another symbolism of that is over the period of time he's been a Don, what's been very interesting to see is that he talked about the buildings and how it used to be slums. Well, slums are perfect for selling drugs and things that the Don ship would end up doing. The city had changed so much for the better that makes it more difficult to have the big crime syndicates that you could have. So he may have been feeling strangled in the fact that what he used to be able to be wasn't necessarily kosher anymore. And now, by choking her out, and the one thing he truly cared about, everything else is dead to him now, and he can go back to being just the beast that he's been over the years that had everyone in fear.
Yeah. We're getting deep here on the Gotham After Show. We are getting deep.
Whoa.
It was a great episode,
Let's call that section the deep end on the Gotham Show. Showing us
You
on the
have just
deep
been
end.
deep ended it on the Gotham After Show.
All right.
Yeah, watch how you say that.
Yeah.
Moving on, let's talk about Commissioner Loeb showing up for the first time ever, and Jim Gordon.
He's got the giggles, everyone.
No, it was just
Giggles.
awesome what you told me earlier about him.
Right.
It shocked me. So
And
Inside show.
Jim Gordon pretty much just being a complete dick to this guy he's met for the first time. What are you doing here,
Yeah.
Commissioner? Obviously, Jim is getting way more than ballsy. But just whoever wants to talk about this, he said, yeah, I totally know where Jack is. I'll go get him. And then the commissioner says, okay, you have 24 hours or you and Bullock are fired. He's like, yeah, no problem. How are we taking this Jim Gordon?
Well, he obviously. I mean, at first he wasn't employed by the police force. He was
Right.
at Arkham, so he could talk that way, in a sense, to get his job back. Hey, he just had leverage. He used it. He's learning how to be a cop in Gotham. I mean, it's not the nice guy. It seems like you got to be the mean guy to get what you want.
Well, he said he's done playing it safe.
That's right, and that's right. So it's a good, like Charles said earlier, I think it's a good transition for his character. I think it's a good transition for the show. It makes him more aggressive, and not as careful. So I think we're going to see more of that, and I think we're going to see more of his ability to be able to do more with the character. I think, in a sense, 'cause I think he was bottled up a little bit. We even talked about it a lot. How is it the Jim Gordon show or is it the Bruce Wayne show? So now it feels like he is going to take center reign maybe and become the guy that we thought we were going to get in the very beginning of this.
That's actually a good segue that no Bruce or Alfred again for this episode. Yeah. Any other thoughts about
Which I didn't miss.
Loeb?
I didn't miss him.
Well,
to be honest.
Loeb, originally in the comic, I guess in year one, he saw Jim Gordon as a threat. But it doesn't, for him to just give him that ultimatum seems to me like maybe he thought you've got 24 hours to get him, like you're going to get him.
Right.
But he didn't seem like that. He seemed legitimately like, look, find him, get him, catch him. Like he wanted to, catching him was more important than feeling like Jim Gordon is some kind of threat. Well, he found him, so now he's got to deal with him. He's back on the force, so I don't know how their relationship is going to play out. Obviously, which I guess won't say anything about it now, but the very end when he kind of whispered to him, it was such an awesome thing. I don't want to say it yet, but
Everyone's seen it.
I guess I don't want to snowball into that.
Okay.
So, I don't know what kind of relationship they're going to have, and because it's just started, and I'm glad they chose Commissioner Loeb. I'm glad they chose that reference, but it's funny that they're actually doing, it's like they're doing year one, Batman year one without Batman. It's just weird.
It's Gordon year one.
It is Gordon year one. It is Gordon. And what about I know it's kind of weird, but no one's been able to go toe to toe with Jim. Period. Like, has he ever lost a fight? Is he like?
Probably.
Well,
not.
yeah, he's been saved by Bullock a few times. I think the Balloon Man was one of them.
But
Yes.
And by the Penguin.
Well, no. I'm talking about hand-to-hand combat. Like, I don't think he's ever, because he dispatched that one guy pretty. He flipped that 222. I think it was 222 or 225 pound.
Oh, Danzig.
Yeah, then just flipped him in. Man, so that's pretty. I'm more of that. I like more of that. More of the fighting. That's pretty awesome. Pretty good.
Right on.
Well, it seemed like there were two parallel stories going on at the same time last night because you had Jim going up against Loeb, you had Falcone, going up against Fish, and they are both having to change who they've been to become the new and take over. and both of them are the two dominant ones now. And I think it's the antagonist-protagonist situation that's coming up to where they're going to eventually butt heads because they're building the two characters up so strong that Jim's basically leading the police force. Falcone is back in complete control of the mob, and eventually they're going to clash at some point. And that's where I think Jim's going to have that moment where it won't be physical, but it'll be mental to take down Falcone.
Mm-hmm.
But
we say Falcone on that
Falcone,
show.
pardon me.
Falcone.
Falcone.
You did give it earlier, but slipped up there.
Yes.
How do we feel about Riddler, Enigma, same thing,
Yeah,
now starting to actually leave some
Biting the
clues
bullet.
around? Had a bullet and a cupcake.
that was really cool. Yeah.
Reactions of that?
I'm a little confused on where that storyline's going. Because I don't think I don't think she's in the comic, right? Have we?
I've looked
We've
for
Talking
it.
about Kringle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen any.
I don't know.
First appearance was?
I don't think she is, but I don't know. It's just obviously some. He's just trying to hit on her and get.
I think it's
with
more of
her.
a catalyst for him to be rejected more, to get picked
Yeah,
on
I
more,
guess.
and to.
And that's exactly what I was worried. We were worried about was like, okay, we're kind of done. We get it.
Yeah.
He's getting hit on. Like, he's getting put down. I mean,
Yeah.
who was that random dude that came out of
that a
nowhere
cop?
from like the
Yeah,
morgue area?
no, that's what I'm
Like, I
saying.
don't
The
know
whole
where-
scene was like,
where's that back room? Where
Yeah.
where did he come from?
I think that is like, yeah, I don't know.
Beat it.
Yeah.
And, it's
and
just
then she's like,
what a-
"Oh, thank you."
that was really neat.
why don't you beat it? She's with me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I thought was gonna. I thought it was gonna be like her boyfriend or something.
Thank you. He's
but
so weird.
yeah, so it's just another excuse for them to just beat on him, and hopefully, I mean, I don't want to say hopefully because it's the line we talk about all the time, which is who's the appropriate villain to be, to come on the show. I mean, is some sort of maybe some sort of form of the Riddler at some point, because that's what it. That's the only thing I could think about. It's leading into. Is that one season just being him, maybe doing a Dexter type thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. I'm with Dave. I don't.
Yeah, I was like, you can take. I don't know. You can just take all those scenes out in that episode, and it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, but I
don't
think it's one of those things where several episodes down the road, it'll
Yeah.
become
See,
important.
I don't.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't like personally. I don't like that kind of storytelling in TV. I think the really good shows that are out there make every scene matter. You know what I mean? So
to that episode.
to that episode, correct. And I don't think those scenes really mattered.
I think she's digging him.
You got that feeling a little bit.
She has that subtle grin
Yeah.
right after he tells her that beautiful women are dangerous. And then she has that moment and then the interruption.
Yeah.
And that's
kind of had to play cool. Oh yeah, he's a total nerd.
douche your
Yeah,
big
get him out of
fearsome.
here.
but
Yeah.
he played it off so nicely though that look, I was just wanting to tell you hi, not mean anything mean and
He should
They-
have punched the dude.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Riddle me this.
Nah, I don't-
Yeah. Riddle this.
Yeah.
Pow.
Yeah.
But I think something's going to happen there, and I think it does matter if that's what it is. Because you're right. If it's just hey, I just want to show this cop picking on this guy, that's one thing. But if it's showing her kind of fighting her urges, that's a whole other thing.
And we're talking Illy, which in the scene, the context, right? It doesn't. But Cory Michael Smith, right, is his name?
Yeah.
Props to him.
Oh,
I mean,
he's fantastic.
Like he's absolutely fantastic. And we don't want to say the scene doesn't matter, but the scene doesn't. If we were reading a script, it'd be like, why was that? Like you go back and
totally.
think
No,
like why?
Him getting
but-
involved in the investigations
Yes.
and stuff
Yeah,
like
makes
that.
sense.
That
Yeah.
makes sense
Mhm.
to me. But to go down to the archives or the filing room and
Wherever.
just to try to get a girl on a date, I mean, sure, it might end up going somewhere, and then we might look back and be like, oh, okay, this. But that's to me that's an odd way to storytell a little bit.
So Penguin made the slip that he had to go see Falcone. Said that right in front of Maroni.
What else?
Bad thing to say
I mean,
there.
I guess he was
So
out of
then
his
Maroni
mind.
goes into protective custody at the police station. Why do all fights happen at the police station now?
Yeah.
It's with Zaz and the electrocutioner. But then Maroni lets Oswald go, But you could just tell by his expression that he didn't believe him about the mother thing and all of this and that. Do you think he had him followed?
Oh yeah.
That's
And do you think
interesting.
Yeah,
Because
more
we have seen this show completely go back and put in new stuff that we haven't seen, I guess in the reveal that he's working for Falcone, but I don't know. I mean, did he? I don't think he. I mean, he could have.
But here's the thing.
But who was around to follow him? I
But
guess.
here's the thing. It doesn't even matter because he's obviously going to take over Fish's
Yeah,
operation.
that's true.
So Maroney's out anyway.
That was my next question, we'll say.
Yeah, I
Dang,
mean,
so that's gonna be some juicy stuff coming up. I
yeah.
think.
So Maroney's obviously going to be upset anyway. Regardless, he's going to find out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But since we don't know what's happening to Fish,
True.
if she gets out of that,
Yeah, but she didn't have anybody. Remember?
She's being-
all her
she
people
does.
are dead.
But she does have somebody. She's got Maroney.
Oh,
What if her and Maroney team up to go up against Falcone and Penguin?
Yeah.
Kind of hard since she's in custody of Falcone now.
She's being.
Well, I'm saying if she
she's
gets
being
out of
tickle
that,
tortured.
Yeah.
that's her
But even
one.
if it's only her and Butch, because all her people are dead.
Yeah.
So
they
and then
are, you
and then
did
you got
say.
Maroney. That's
Butches.
technically Maroney and Falcone have an understanding because of the whole Arkham thing. So they're not trying. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're trying to go at each other as Fish is trying to get Falcone out.
Well,
I mean, that's the battle that's going on now. There's really not a battle going on between Maroney and Falcone.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
think if Maroney found an opportunity to hit Falcone, I think he would, like he did with the, because when Penguin was coaxing him, like, this is where it's gonna be, this is that stuff, and he was talking about, like there was like a steak, something with some kind of pun, I don't know what it was, but he was talking about.
They're going to get a bigger bite.
Yeah, there you go.
something like that.
So I think face to face they have an understanding, but I think if Maroney's the type, Falcone is one of those guys who's like, I'm big, I'm bad, I'm here forever, and I don't care. Well, Maroney can pinch and prod me all he wants, but it's like, but Maroney, I think, has that fire, that urge to want to be number one.
but he's not doing anything
Big.
that Fish is doing.
Oh, geez, no,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
exactly.
he's not trying to
Like-
he's not trying to go behind the scenes and get him out.
Exactly.
Right.
He's doing classic mob hit businesses and stuff.
Right.
Right.
That's true. That is true. Fish took a lot of time.
Yeah, because that was his casino, I guess, that they hit, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks.
Charles looks like you're watching a ping pong match.
Oh no, I'm taking it all in.
Fish took all that time for that plan, and then all,
I
like it
know,
just
right?
was
Yeah,
smashed. Like it just got smashed
Right in her
so
face.
quick.
So do we think, obviously, the thing that Oswald was waiting for was for Fish to... Did he know that eventually Fish was going to kidnap Liza? Did he know that was the move and that's what he was waiting for?
I think
Or
he
do you
was
think there were several scenarios?
I think he was waiting for a move.
Yeah, I think he
Just
was.
any
too.
move.
He was waiting on that piece.
Yeah.
He had that piece of knowledge. He had that, and he made that move. Because once he said Liza's been taken, he knew. He was like, Fish is making her move. This is it. So, and then obviously he.
Another Home Alone moment.
Yeah.
The doorknob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let go of the doorknob.
Right.
With electricity, you probably couldn't, but with the hot stuff, anyways, we're not going to get into Home Alone physics, but yes,
Correct.
please carry on.
Correct. We're going to take a little break in the action right now for everyone's favorite game, Caption This. Gentlemen, if you'll pull out your electronic devices, I've emailed you a picture. You may now open it, and it is your time to caption this. Whoever would like to go first.
I went
may.
first last time.
Charles, since you're our guest, why don't you go first?
All right. Hell Hydra.
Oh,
Hell Hydra. Nice. Oh, man.
nice. That is good. That is good.
I don't know if you get the reference, but he leans in and whispers and goes, "I loved you in Bosom Buddies."
Yes. Yes.
So
For all those who didn't know, he played opposite Tom Hanks
Yeah.
in a sitcom
Hilding.
called Bosom Buddies in what, the 80s?
I think it was.
Late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
Adult Swim did one of those remake things of it. That's the only reason I know about it. But
Right.
Oh, thanks. For those of us that do.
They've got it.
I was do a simple one. So, what's the pay grade for commissioner?
Ah,
There you go.
nice. Yeah,
He's already playing
and
the
then he
scene.
goes, "Not as much as you think."
Right.
Unless you're
Step
crooked.
off. Yeah.
All right, so mine is Jim says, "Oh, I see what you mean, Commissioner Loeb. Your ears are magnificent. Is that how you got that name? They're great.
Yeah, I thought about a Loeb reference. Very good. Yeah.
I went with the Loeb reference.
Loeb
I went with the
reference. You got to.
All right.
You got to in a
sometimes you
pinch.
just got to go with the Loeb reference.
In a pinch, go with the Loeb reference.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so the villain in this episode, of course, again, the Electrocutioner. Haven't really talked about him yet. We did mention last time that his name, Jack Gruber, not really in the comics, but in this episode we found out it was actually Jack Basinski.
Lester.
So it's Lester in the comics, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they took the liberty of calling him Jack for the show, but this Basinski is the real last name?
Yes, is the real last name in the comic book.
Okay.
Yeah, the Electrocutioner.
Give us a little, real brief history.
Yeah, he showed up in Batman 331, I think, what we just talked about, in 81. So it's simply what he does. He has electricity devices.
Electrical
devices. Yeah.
We
electricity.
are all violently drunk.
Violently. Geez.
Yes, we
Gotham
are.
After Show
I would
brought to
say
you
happily
by
drunk.
Happily drunk.
No, we are.
Jim,
There's also a
very-
gas leak. So.
Is that what that's?
We are very delusional right now.
Yeah,
That's what that's been all this time.
Yeah.
That smell.
No, very involved in
Exercise, man.
very involved in Infinite Crisis storyline, being part of the supervillains, stuff like that. So, Secret Society of Supervillains. But yeah, one of I haven't read much. I haven't personally read much of him because I wasn't reading a lot of Batman back then. But he popped up a lot against, and he fought Nightwing a lot too, apparently.
I think Cory also he's in the Arkham games.
Yeah. From what I understand, he's in the Arkham games, but I think it's one of those perfect villains for
For a game,
for a game, but for Gotham.
Forgot, sure.
I think
Yeah,
it's one of
yeah,
those that can.
Now, what do we
doesn't
think
cross
about
the line.
Gordon's finishing move? Here's some water.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finish him.
That's his
Sprinkler
fatality.
system.
Yeah, it's funny how
Which-
he just kind of like gave up. Like, oh, okay, well, I can't do anything. you
I'm
know,
nothing
so-
without this.
yeah.
Can you
My
le-
Darth Vader looking thing.
You think like if you threw a punch, it'd be something like, and he just would, like hit his chest and be like, all right,
T-Rex arms.
here's some cuffs, put them
He,
on.
didn't, he wasn't
type thing.
thinking Batman. He didn't have a backup plan.
Nope.
No.
No.
Yeah. You didn't think of like maybe put a case on all that open circuitry.
Correct.
And when he was
Perhaps.
putting it on, it's like,
Perhaps.
Yeah.
forget the case. I forgot.
It looks better this way.
I forget the case.
All of a sudden on Seinfeld.
He's gonna be
Don't do a
electrocuted.
case. Everyone has a case.
Everybody's gonna. I didn't plan on having rubber shoes. Who wears those?
That's actually Jimmy Fallon doing
Yes.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Absolutely. Good eye. Good eye.
I was
Or
kinda,
ear.
I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of waiting for Bullock.
Ear.
Like, didn't he not tell Bullock to put shoes on too?
Oh,
or-
Bullock was like, that is
I mean-
not fashion forward.
I'm
I'm
too
not
cool."
putting on those
Yeah,
galoshes.
okay.
And apparently Enigma only cares about Jim and Bullock. About
Yeah, or
Gordon
else he
Bullock.
would have went around.
Hey, everyone else,
Everyone else
nothing.
can die.
Y'all are dicks to me.
Yeah.
Fry.
Tell you that was interesting too. Though the executioner was planning on killing everybody.
Yeah, he was sad that he didn't. kill
Like he
anybody.
was upset. You know, like, hey, I really thought I wired this right. Damn it.
Oh, positive to negative or negative?
Yeah.
Blue wire.
Duracell. That's the.
Let's talk about Barbara going to her parents' house. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, let's not. No,
Yeah, okay.
We're not
we
going to
can't
talk
talk
about that
This
at
is
all.
really uncomfortable.
But let's talk about
Yeah,
the
that was weird.
the better woman on the
Babs
show,
is hurting.
Miss Leslie Tompkins,
Marina Baccarat.
or Lee.
Just Lee.
Lee. How about this? Did you guys make this connection? Jim and Lee. Jim Lee. Jim
Well,
Lee.
I'll be dang.
Wow, nice.
See,
I'll be dang.
comic.
Who illustrated Hush?
That's very true.
Jim Lee.
Starting with issue 608.
That should be their power couple name, just Jim Lee.
And his last name was Loeb.
What?
Oh
Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb.
That's
Jeff
okay.
Loeb.
I didn't want to
Just
say.
Jeff.
Well, actually, Commissioner Loeb's first name is Jillian.
Jillian.
B. Loeb. So that's nice. With a G.
And Bruce's best friend is Tom Tom Hanks. Peter Scolari.
Now we're
There
really
you go.
Yeah.
And now
It's
we're back
just
around.
entrenched.
Buffy.
They've planned all this out.
That's her name, Buffy. His name.
right.
Buffy.
We have some questions via the tweets that we're going to get to right now on our, again, why did I put this away? On our electronic devices.
That's all we're saying about Lee?
that she has.
Oh, you want to say more than just it's Jim Lee?
her
Marina?
Her like little, little
All right,
Snickers
fine.
No,
smile
that's okay.
thing.
That's okay. Go ahead.
She was
No,
on
no,
Firefly.
no,
No, we'll talk about that.
Serenity.
Go. Who wants to? No, I'm kidding. Actually, I love her.
smile,
I love her. She's
wow.
great. Well, segue.
Yeah, segue.
We had someone just comment at Quishon Colbert or Colbert. I don't know if you pronounce the T if you're like Steven. Says the romance between Gordon and Tompkins, smiley face.
Yes.
Like that.
Smiley face.
Now
I agree.
discuss.
I agree.
Talk, monkeys.
Barbara's gonna steal
Huge.
her away from him.
Barbara's a train wreck.
She is a wreck.
She walked up in
Yeah.
her parents' house with like this, with just drug face
We're
on.
fine. We're fine. We're all fine.
Yeah, like
Everything's
He's fine. I'll
Can I
find
stay
him.
here a week?
Yeah.
you are. Yeah, I don't know what the. Yeah,
I
she's.
failed you. Mom and Dad, I failed you.
Dad, I still want Jeff. He's gone.
We're fine, but I failed you.
Clearly, she was the. Yeah, she's the black sheep. Of
We should
the-
do that on every episode of the
Find
Gotham
some way to
After
work
Show.
in Michael Caine.
Yeah, why would you do that face every time?
He did though. He was all beat red when he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, That's
Yeah.
pretty good. I think that's pretty. The likeness
You
is.
should have won an Academy Award.
He should have just for that speech and
Just
that
for that
line.
line.
I agree. I agree.
Michael Caine for I failed you. Not even the movie. Just
Just-
that
Could they
line
have,
gets
what if they
nominated.
had like some kind of Oscars for that? Like just for like
For the
one,
line.
for one-liners for one line. There you go.
Copyright 21 Networks.
Yeah.
2015 can't steal it.
Nope.
Any other talk of Lee Tompkins?
I think she's hotter than Barbara.
Well, yeah. She obviously has some
She's very aggressive.
female balls for walking into men's locker room.
Very
Female
true.
balls. Yes.
Well, he's living there.
He is living
He
there.
is kinda
And she
living
calls him out.
It is
"Oh,
his
you living here?"
domicile.
Wait, why is he living there? Why doesn't he go there?
His other place smells bad. Barbara's old apartment, someone left some milk out or something, and he's like, I don't know what to do.
Well,
is
it's
true.
poison
I
ivy and
thought about
Catwoman
that.
shit all over his house.
I guess. Yeah.
There's kitty litter everywhere. There's
I mean,
plants, vegetation. She's a vegan homeless person. How does that happen?
Yeah, that is true. I did think that on why he's not going back there, but I mean, it's probably just because it's not his place technically.
it's not.
So
He's got a key and she's not there.
yeah,
That'd be my place.
heck yeah, that'd be party
It's like
central.
Watchtower.
It is like Watchtower.
It's totes like
All right,
Watchtower.
thank you
all,
for
all the furniture's been scratched up.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you
terrible.
for your comment, and I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Our good friend Mrs. Cobblepot, who a couple of shows ago, or maybe possibly last show, was talking about how long it'd be before Fish's Place became the Iceberg Lounge. Now she says, "Now what do you think, Winky Face?" She goes on to say, "It's not a done deal, but one step closer for sure. But really, do you see Fish being killed off soon?"
Nope.
No?
Did you see the previews
You don't
for the
think
next
so?
episode?
She's getting out of that. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, she is.
She's gonna flex and bust out of here.
You're
Sorry,
not
I
going to
moved
get the
the
strongest
table.
mob woman in Gotham out just like that. I mean, it's going to take more to kill her than some idiot with a drill bit.
There's not gonna be enough room for her, I think, coming up.
I think Gilzine busts out, saves Fish, because Gilzine is awesome and you can't kill him.
Wait,
Team Butch, hashtag.
yeah, Team Butch. That's true.
I think she's dead by the end of the season.
Actually, that segues into another question by another regular contributor to the show, Sergeant Merca. Sergeant Merca.
Merca.
At Sergeant Merca. Do we need Fish for more than one season? Is Penguin going to reveal in public who he works for next week? Two-parter. So we'll start with the first one. Do we need Fish for one more season? For more than one season?
I say
that is.
no.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Charles
then I
Thompson?
think,
I'm saying yes.
Corey Cooley?
I'm agreeing with Dave.
yeah.
To sum it up,
No. And then the second part is,
Fart noises.
is Penguin going to reveal in
I
public
think
who he
that's
works
going to
for next
be,
week?
I think this is going to be obvious. I mean, I don't think it has to be publicly revealed because as soon as he takes over Fish's operations,
Yeah.
everybody knows that that's Falcone's, under Falcone's,
regime.
regime, yeah. So Empire. So obviously, this is going to be revealed to Maroni for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been on the wrong side this whole time. So, but no, because we've been getting a lot of feedback that Fish is like they're people's favorite character on there.
Seems like they're 50-50. They either love her or like get her out.
But I think it's time. I think I'm.
Maroney's the Ellis Island of mob bosses, though. You can go into his place and get a job
That's
washing
true,
dishes, and you end up working up to the point now you're working with Falcone, and
Sitting at the big kids table.
yeah, and you're getting her club. And I think she's going to end up getting taken down to nothing. She'll escape, taken down to nothing, and then build herself back up with Maroney, and they're going to go try and take down because Penguin will get revealed by Fish as the person's been giving him up on everything.
Well, I think Penguin, like Dave said, is going to reveal himself.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they'll do it that
expose
fast.
himself.
I think she'll tell Maroney before he finds out publicly that Penguin's doing what he's doing.
Depends on how long she's in custody, I think.
That's true.
If she doesn't end up getting killed, she escapes or whatever. It's just a matter of time.
This is all assuming that maybe somehow, or not assuming that maybe somehow, slyly through Maroney, he was like, look, Fish's place is open, let's take it. And still with Maroney taking over Fish's turf or something like, you know what I mean? Like, Falcone's weak, she's gone.
Falcone.
See, look what you're doing here.
Put a dollar in the jar.
It's you.
That's a dollar in the jar.
Put your finger on my face. But no, yeah, so it's...
That's why it's a red catch of blood.
blood.
We'll take us upset.
But not saying something like that, because we've seen crazier things happen on Gotham where that's turned
Yeah.
around and we're like,
Well, let's just examine next
hey, Maroney,
week's
it's open, let's take it.
previews. We see Jim Gordon walking into Fish's old place and talking to Penguin like, aren't you doing this a little too soon? We see Fish being tortured. We don't see anything about her escaping.
Something I saw.
Laughing.
Yeah.
She's,
So,
that all you got?
But you know who you didn't see?
yes.
Bullock. I bet he's going to come sweep in and save her.
You didn't
Say Fish?
You didn't see Bullock.
Actually, if you guys watched the commercials, you saw the thing with
Yes.
yes, with the Ford.
I was really
Focus
upset that I saw
Robin
that. I
Lord
remember
with
that.
Robin Lord Taylor, where he went to wardrobe and it was a fish costume, not a fish costume like you're a fish. Fish's costume,
Landshark.
Fish's wardrobe, and Bullock's jacket. And she says that Fish wears it, not like you would think. I can't say anymore, she says.
I was, yeah,
So
I
you
wasn't-
might be right. You might be onto
yeah,
something there.
But I wasn't
Or
happy.
you might be right.
Yeah, at
Thank
that
you.
point, I mean,
Doesn't matter.
with those
All I
cameras,
see
you
is
can't tell.
talking.
I wasn't going to say anything, but you can't tell where your point with it. But anyways,
You might be right.
this one.
I love this lamp.
But yeah, I was upset that I
love
saw
it.
that. It was like a spoiler to me. I remember thinking,
I didn't see that
I
because
didn't
I
want to know
fast
that.
forward to the commercials.
Yeah, for the next either 3 or 2 weeks, there's going to be those things
Yeah.
sponsored by Ford. With
Hopefully he
Robin Lord
gets
Taylor.
to keep that.
Oh.
I like him.
I don't think
He's a
I
cool
don't know
guy.
about
Probably
that. That's tough.
driving
I don't know about
something
that.
bigger.
Well, he had a little Walking Dead money, and a little accepted
a
money.
little, yeah.
Oh yeah, very little.
But nothing like
Accepted.
this. Yeah, very accepted.
Accepted money. Oh,
Yes,
jeez.
accepted.
Yeah, it's a
Good movie.
decent little
Good movie. Just along.
It's been a while since I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm glad for him though. I like his character.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
All right, well, we got to wrap this one up here, or we can just talk all night and get drunker and
Just
higher off the fumes. We're going to put a pin in this one. Any last parting thoughts before we pull the plug?
It's getting good.
It's getting good.
Yeah, it's getting good. I think so. We got
really
10
good.
episodes left.
New
A lot can happen. A lot can happen. I think it just
Season 2 is
Official.
approved and official.
And they had great ratings
Lord.
last night. I mean, it was a little bit down from the second half premiere, but I mean, they tied for the biggest rating out of 1849. I mean, people are watching the show, and their Live Plus 7's huge. I mean, this is going to go for a while. I'm really excited about it.
Charles Thompson using the inside terms.
that's why we got them
That's why
on.
we got him.
Hate. So much
No,
hate.
yeah, no, I'm excited. Definitely, I think this episode really did open the door to really surprise us.
Yeah,
You know, because it was, to me, it was surprising how it ended up going.
agreed. Thanks again for your comments and questions. To send those to us, just follow at Gotham After Show on Twitter. I think we also have an email. That's info at gothamaftershow.com. Again, make sure to follow our friends Legends of Gotham and watch the Roundtable number 2 that we were on, and also watch the Sleepy Hollow Addict listen to their podcast when we'll be on there soon. Follow these guys at dcottingham21, at Big Blue 8, and at Kumaster Ku. I am at Chad Perkins21. All that on Twitter. Got all that? Okay. Subscribe to the network, youtube.com/21network. And until next time, stay frosty.